The road ends here for the riders of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. "99 days after that first gate drop at Hangtown, we are about to put a bow on the 2015 American Motocross campaign and crown a champion in the 250 class.
Musquin winning this moto, and that is clutch. He will retake the points lead in the 250 class. Jeremy Martin wins. Clutch performance in Utah.
Pro Motocross from America's Heartland gets underway right now, live on MAV TV.
Well, 1 week ago, the 450 National Championship wrapped up here by Ryan Dungey. Still some battles left in that division, and a championship remains on the line in the 250 class. It's all coming your way here live on MAV TV. The final round of the 2015 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing, the second annual Bud Light Ironman National, just outside of Indianapolis, Indiana. Jason Wygant, multi-time motocross and supercross champion Grant Langston here in the booth, and Georgia Lindsay will be on the starting line and in the Fram Mechanics area all day long. Let's show you how we're going to go racing, get you up to speed on what you're about to see. Here's your Lucas Oil 4-1. We have two classes racing today. We're going to race the 450 class first because they have that championship fight in the 250s. We'll make that the grand finale. Each class will race two times. First motos here on MAV TV, second motos tonight on NBCSN. And in each class, we'll total up the two motos to determine a pair of overall winners. In this 450 division, no surprise, Ryan Dungey logs the Bud Light Fast Qualifying Award, showing that even though he has the title wrapped up, he is not going to step away from the gas pedal. But earlier on the GoPro starting gate, one of the riders that wants to challenge Dungey for the win today, last year's champion Ken Roxon, with Georgia Lindsay at the GoPro starting gate.
Now, obviously, the 450 championship is wrapped up, but second place is still up for grabs. Ken Roxon, what's your thoughts going into Indiana?
The track's really gnarly out here. I just want to have a good start and have fun out there. You know, obviously we're pretty tight for second in the championship, and the goal is definitely to come out in front of Justin. So just gonna grab a good start and try to hammer down both motos and see where we're at.
Obviously, it's been an up and down season, but you've obviously had flashes of absolute brilliance. But this week has been tough for you. There's been a lot of media talk going on. What's your comment to that?
Oh, nothing really. I don't let things like that bother me too much. You know, like you said, it was a little bit of a weird week, but we're out here racing, and yeah, I have my race face on, and then I'm ready to go.
Best of luck. Thanks, Ken.
And what happened, Ken's dad actually put an interview in a German motocross magazine kind of slamming Ken's team for the struggles they've had this year. Ken tried to get in front of it, did an interview with the folks at Racer X this week. His dad doesn't speak for him. They're working on it. They're getting better. He has improved the last few weeks. Now, Grant, here's the Kawasaki track map.
Yeah, start pretty similar to it was in the past. A little more of a right-hander. Up the hill, get that motorsport.com hole shot if you can into one of the first tight lefts. Start coming back down the hill. Another part where you have to brake over this little blind crest. A lot of switchbacks here, but this part of the track, get your weight back, get through these rollers. You got to be hard on the gas because this jump up the hill, they put a lip on it and a landing. It's a big jump. Turn around, they sky it back down the hill, accelerate hard on the brakes, and then yeah, we've seen guys go to the outside because they have to get all the drive they can to make it over that Red Bull triple step up. Huge jump. Another right-hander off the Bud Light drop off. This section getting really rough and choppy. We saw Justin Barsha crash in practice there, was able to get up. Then a little more through the tree section. This a little slow, but the ruts get deeper and there's more lines. So I think it's also a really good passing track overall over the Lucas Oil step up. Slight left. Now you start coming towards where the pit area is. Turn right over the tunnel jump. And then the fly racing quadruple. These guys skying it out to get all the way over and immediately on the binders for that sharp right. Back on the gas. 180 left. And you're coming back towards the finish line. Sweeping right-hander. Couple little rollers coming out. Over the Lucas Oil finish line jump. And that's a lap here at Ironman.
Talked to Ken Roxon earlier, and here he is riding earlier with the GoPro Hero Cam. It's your track preview.
Yeah, come over that section. These are those rollers I was telling you about. Get the weight back. Listen, full throttle. Big jump.
Call this one Godzilla.
Yeah.
You can see the inflatable Godzilla over to the side of the track.
Now, hard on the gas again because you got almost seat bounces, and then all the way down this hill. Here I'm on the gas. Now watch, he'll go wide because it was a little sloppy in practice, so they had to get all the drive they can because this is the biggest jump in the track. Red Bull triple step up. Look at all the crowd there.
Wow.
That was early in practice. I mean, it's packed out there.
So up, down, and up that hill. That's going to be exciting. Here's your KTM keys to the Moto, Grant.
Well, basically it's like a first time for everyone because the conditions are very different from last year. It was a mud bath and the layouts changed a little bit. And end on a good note. It's a long off season. It's the last race of the year. Everybody wants to end off on a high note, carry that momentum into next year. And of course, can anyone beat Ryan Dungey? He's been almost flawless this year on the podium every race. He's won most of them. Can he go out in style with that title?
Yeah, he'd like to win out and make sure that riders like Roxon, Barsha, and the rest don't have confidence going into the off-season. Let's see how it turns out here at Indiana. Dungey had a good jump, but yeah, Anderson on that Husqvarna. Dungey's just going to edge him out and get the motorsport.com hole shot. I thought Anderson on the 21 had it, and he's going to go back after him. Now it's the 377. It's past them both.
Whoa.
Christophe Pourcel.
Where did that line come from? He must have really looked at that during practice. They've done a little bit of track prep, and I think he saw they built that outside up. And Dungey,
Whoa! And Dungey almost over the bars. We've seen that all year. Uncharacteristic in a way, aggression from Dungey. Hey, Colton Fasciati, the Canadian, has moved his way to second. Now Dungey trying to get back by him. Fasciati's first race with us this year.
Anderson casing that Godzilla jump. Now watch, you're going to get clean over this so you can carry that speed and land on the downside. See some of the guys bouncing. They want to catch that downside. So Dungey, little uncharacteristic mistake, but we heard Roxon say right before the drop of the gate, this is a gnarly track. It is rough, but I think this is a great real man's racetrack. Dungey now, look at the line selections. Pourcel loves to find the smooth lines, going the long way around, but Dungey hitting the rough stuff, puts him on the inside in this corner. But Pourcel jumping that, we haven't seen that in practice. So picking up some new stuff here, and that's what makes Christophe Pourcel so, that's why he's got the nickname Crafty Frenchman. He just sees things that no one else does.
This is fun to watch. It's actually like two completely different tracks running parallel to each other.
And that's what it is. Two different riding styles, two different, you see there, jumping that as well to the outside. So Pourcel doing all the jumps that we haven't seen because the guys were having to roll him to get to the inside. But with a little track prep, Pourcel just carrying his momentum and taking a long way around.
And it's been a pretty solid season for Pourcel this year, working on potentially top 5 in points. Here it is, the Bud Flight, this quad jump. Pourcel actually scrubs it, then comes up short. Ouch.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hard landing because you're coming up from I don't know how high they are over that jump in feet, but it's a bit of a Buddha, and then the landing's actually relatively small, which makes it harder to time it perfectly every lap. And as much as these guys are battling, they're not getting away from the rest of the pack.
No, Anderson and now Justin Bogle up to 4th. See the Honda back there. Dungey still trying to figure out a way around Pourcel.
They've been side by side almost this whole lap. And Dungey just left the braking a little bit late. You see it almost left it too late, barely made that rut. Pourcel going to come back at him.
Well, that's the second time he tried that. Remember, Dungey almost went over the bars trying to brake late right through this section on the first lap. Yep.
Watch Pourcel going to that outside. See, it's smooth and fast.
That's his specialty. He'll find the smooth ground. And you never know what you're going to get from Pourcel. This is the section that almost got Dungey,
This was the corner. Well, there's a yellow flag. Showed you. Look at Pourcel. He got kicked there. So those braking bumps are really getting pretty vicious on the inside. We saw a rider go down a pretty peculiar place off the rollers.
To the side.
Only thing I can imagine was he swapped through the rollers and slammed into that uphill, which doesn't seem fun.
Dungey going to leap back downhill. Series of 3 jumps. They jump the big Godzilla. Now they jump back down. And then this uphill triple, I think, is bigger than even Godzilla.
Yeah, they got to give it everything. Godzilla, if you actually watch, they come up with enough speed where they actually roll off the throttle, kind of what we call speed jump, try and stay low but go far. On the Red Bull triple step up, you just hold the cable wide open. When someone says, how do you jump that? Rail the outside and never let off.
And Pourcel still leaping into the outside of this corner. Now Anderson, his Rockstar Husqvarna teammate, comes through next. And behind him, the Geico Honda rider, Justin Bogle, Dean Wilson. Dungey's teammate, Red Bull KTM, 5th.
So now we have to ask, we've been talking about that little in a battle and rivalry between defending champion Ken Roxon, who's now lost that title to Ryan Dungey this year, but still running the one plate, and of course 51 of Justin Barsha. They got their own little battle for second, and you know, when you put riders in with some egos and some self-pride, they both want to get second.
And they're not very good off the start here. Barsha right now 7th. Roxon is 8th. So they've got work to do. We haven't even seen them yet. Here's Bogle. He's been very fast so far on the 450. Doesn't have the finishes quite to show for it. He's had a lot of crashes. Dean Wilson, 5th in our previous moto at Utah. That's a nice sign of life for a rider who missed almost all the races this year with a knee injury.
Yeah, great to see Dino back, and this is good for him because I think this will just help carry that momentum into next season. There's nothing worse when you haven't raced the whole summer and you come in and you go into Supercross at the beginning of the year and you feel like it's your first race all over again.
So it's Wilson, and now we see behind him Phil Nicoletti, and then the Barsha-Roxon battle.
And Barsha's gotten around Roxon.
I think Roxon started even further back. That's the order they were. This is the closest they've been, though, as they've caught up to Nicoletti and now Wilson as well. Battles all over this track. You mentioned a pretty good passing track, and we've seen that. These guys are going all different spots. Barsha trying to work his teammate Nicoletti over right now. This is 4-6.
Yeah, and as the day goes on, what you'll see, like where they graded there for the start, that turn, everyone's going to the inside because that rut's just redeveloping. But as the day goes on and those insides get deeper and rougher, you'll see the guys exploring a little bit more with lines.
Barsha going to use the outside line, and Roxon tucking to the inside as Barsha tries to get his teammate. This is some great racing in the 450 class, but we know everyone's bracing themselves as Barsha makes the move on Nicoletti.
Barsha got a great drive through that section.
But everybody bracing themselves for this battle upcoming in the 250 class the next hour. Only 2 points separating Marvin Musquin, second in the series, and Jeremy Martin, your points leader. And they're prepping the bikes right now. There's Richard Sterling, the mechanic for Martin, getting this thing ready. You know he's going to go over every single bolt, triple, quadruple checked. 250 championship on the line this afternoon, so stay with us on MAV TV. We'll have this one in the next hour. Taking on the toughest projects with cutting-edge technology, Titan and his team fight for America and show the world what it takes to be American-built. Monday at 9 Eastern and Pacific on MAV TV, it's Titan. Lots of fun things. For every Friday night, we have a party over at the Lucas Oil Rig. Fans can come out, especially the kids, have some fun. Red Bull Straight Rhythm, they're pumping that up. Coming on October the 10th, second annual event. James Stewart will be back racing. Ryan Dungey's going to do it for the first time, so that's going to be awesome. 10th and 11th out there at the Fairplex in Pomona, California. Come and join us.
Really cool event.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you literally know it firsthand. You did it. I don't know why you did it.
Neither do I.
Okay.
But I had fun. One and done, though. One
Okay.
and done.
Battle is on. Roxon has caught back up to Barsha, and they've both caught Wilson. And this is so critical as Roxon gets to the inside. The 51 and the 1 are second and third in points. Only 5 points between them. Roxon needs to beat Barsha and get a few riders between them in the two motos today. He looks like he wants to go for the pass.
Yeah, Roxon running a great pace. In fact, all these guys are going pretty good right now, but I think Roxon got just a little extra speed. And he might kick himself at the end of the race thinking, man, if only I'd had the start.
Yeah, that was, we was about 13th, I think, and we figured he could challenge Dungey. Wow, Wilson barely got over that triple. He had to send it, then lock the brake up at the last minute, bring the front end back down. So long battle here for Roxon to just get to these two. Wilson 5th. He's on the Red Bull KTM. Got the Auto Trader Toyota Yamaha Barsha and the Soaring Eagle Jimmy John Suzuki of Roxon, who has been very fast the last two races. Unadilla challenged Dungey all the way to the end of the second moto and led most of the laps at our last race in Utah. Oh, Wilson made a mistake. Holds up Barsha. Here comes Roxon.
Oh, just not quite enough. Wilson just got caught up in that rut just a little bit. But I think with Roxon taking the extreme long way around, just didn't quite have enough there.
Barsha's
Look at
got a
Barsha
shot
on the
at
inside.
Another mistake from Wilson opens the door. Boy, it has been a long time since we've seen Barsha and Wilson duke it out way back in their 250 days. I'm talking 4 or 5 years ago. These two were bitter rivals. I mean, they were ramming each other. It's kind of fun to watch, to be honest.
I was going to say, that's the kind of racing I love. Oh.
Wilson's missed a lot of time with injury, though, and Barsha has moved on, and it looks like Roxon's trying to do the same, trying to get past him.
Well, for Roxon, he can now see the guy that he really wants to beat, starting to just creep away a little bit, just a few bike lengths. So Roxon's gone, all right, I got to make this move on Dean Wilson. I got a little more speed than him. Still plenty of racing to go. There we go. Scrubs that jump. I think he's got the drive. Who's going to leave it later?
Got it. Nice.
Shut the door on him.
Yeah.
Started coming over. Took the line away.
Did I see him downshift, by the way, before he landed that jump and set that thing up to drag race?
Yeah. When he scrubbed it and grabbed a handful and downshift, you knew he was coming. He was basically planning on when he landed, it was like a start. You know, everything shooting a big roost.
Hey, we finally have Trey Kennard on the radar here. Won a moto at this event last year in the mud. There he is in the 41, trying to get Andrew Short. It's a battle to get inside or near the top 10. And right in front of them is Blake Baggett. This is something we alluded to last week. I cannot remember a year where we had so much talent still going strong at the end of the year. Injuries, we've actually seen more riders come back from injuries than leave the series. So we're into 12th place right now, and it's Trey Kennard, who is no slouch.
We're talking about factory riders that are not in the top 10, and I alluded to that the last race, and I went, wow. You know, it is true, Jason. Usually, as the season goes on, you just slowly lose guys through injuries, or, you know, they've had a niggling injury and then they've had a dismal outdoor season, so they get it fixed sooner rather than later. But, I mean, wow, look at that. Oh, Kennard. And he gave Andrew Short one option, chop the throttle. Coming through. The great pass there. These guys actually very good friends off the track. But Trey Kennard will ride everybody as hard as he needs to. Not dirty, but very aggressive.
Both wear the Fly Racing gear. They made the pass under that Fly Racing tent. Yeah, they'll have to hang out a lot and do some of the photo shoots for the gear line they've been part of for a long time. Now, Kennard starting to get away from Short. Short, another rider who came back from injury, had a broken bone in the top of his leg, or kneecap, I guess it actually was. And that cost him some time.
Injury.
Yep. Kennard now trying to go after Baggett. This is 10th and 11th. Baggett in 10th. Yoshimura Suzuki is actually 4th in the points. And then Kennard on that factory Honda. Short on the BTOsports.com KTM. So good racing all over. And just in front of them, rider we haven't seen, is Josh Grant. You can see the green 33 Monster Energy Kawasaki right in front of them. Oh, now they're starting to make inroads on Wilson and Nicoletti. So we're going to have like a 6-rider freight train here.
This is what we love to see. Just good racing for all the positions. Obviously, Dungey slowly getting away. The Husqvarna teammates running really strong with Porcel and Anderson on the podium. But this battle's starting to heat up. We got battles all the way in the top 10 and outside of the top 10 even. Baggett switches it up, inside and outside. Man, this race has gone by so fast.
I know.
We're 15 minutes through this, Jason.
Hey, you've been through the whole season. You tell me what you can do in 15 minutes.
In 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more on your motorcycle insurance.
Excellent job. Baggett making the move now on Nicoletti. And he's got Wilson. Another set of riders that had rivalry back in the day are going to hook up. And a 450, they used to do it in the 250s all the time. But riders like Wilson and Baggett, Barsha, they've taken their 250 rivalries up to the 450 class. And these are the riders starring in the 250 class these days. Those are the standings. We'll have their race of the next hour. 2 points separate Martin and Muscan. There's Marvin. He's happy today. You can tell pressure doesn't even look like it's getting to him. Relaxed, not even moving a muscle. We'll see him out here next.
Go finish line.
The town of Crawfordville, Indiana, about 45 minutes west of Indianapolis, opening the doors for motocross. This is last night's Finish Line Festival. We had some riders and teams out there signing autographs. Kids had plenty of fun things to do, and even a classic car show. And of course, a kid in a motocross jersey decided to take the roughest way down the inflatable slide.
He's practicing for when he actually races and you get ejected from your bike. Tuck and roll, tuck and roll. Prevent the injuries. Don't starfish yourself. Tuck and roll.
He did get up unhurt.
He learned.
Okay. Ryan Dungey putting a hurt on the field right now. Had a good battle with Christophe Pourcel early in the event, but now the Red Bull KTM man who already has the championship leading. He did lead off the start. You'll see it with the motorsport.com whole shot, although Pourcel giving him quite a run here.
Well, you see Pourcel on the inside. He looks like he's got it, but watch Dungey, just a little better arc, and then watch, just sneaks there. About a wheel length, if that. Dungey basically, if you look at down back in the background with the start, he had almost a straight shot up the hill, just had a lean. Look at that.
Wow.
That's one of the closer ones.
Absolutely. So Dungey gets the whole shot award. Pourcel then got the lead from him. Took about 2 laps for Dungey to fight back. get the position, and since then he's extended it, now a 10-second gap, but still well done for the Rockstar Husqvarna teammates who are still second and third. Porcel has 2 overall podiums this year, like a third today.
He's riding very well. We saw him in qualifying. He looks solid, and I think why this track will suit Porcel is he's very good at finding the smooth lines. He's very crafty, as we know already, but he finds smooth lines, and I think on a track that's going to get rougher and rougher, the guy that can find the smoother lines is going to, one, not get as tired, make fewer mistakes, and sometimes the smoother lines are going to start becoming quicker.
Justin Bogle in 4th, though, not going anywhere. So Bogle in a bit of an audition mode. He is a free agent, has to move from the 250 class to the 450s next year due to the points rule they have in Supercross. So he's trying to show that he can ride a big bike. Now, he has been quick at Unadilla and Utah, the 2 races he was in with us. But this is a solid ride he's working on now in 4th. Georgia, what are you hearing on the 19?
Yes, like you just said, we were moving from the 250 class to the 450 class, which meant a lot of big changes. You know, riding a 250 bike, 450 bike is very different on your body and physically. And his trainer, Ryan Fedoro, he worked with him and he changed up some of his training schedules to be able to fit the 450. And we said in the last few weekends, it really seems like the 450 actually suits him a lot better than the 250.
Well, you made that transition once, Grant. What's that like?
You know, it's just a little bit different. You do have to ride a 450 a little bit different. You got to respect the power and you know, the inertia. And it's hard to explain, but it's probably about, call it 10 pounds, if you're talking factory bikes, heavier than a 250. But with the inertia, it's so different. Like when we saw Dungey almost go over the bars under braking. Yeah. 450, that's where it'll bite you. On a 250, you can charge through those quicker and maybe a little less engine brake and that. It's just a little adapting, but I've always said any good rider is going to make the transition. It'll take him a little bit to get used to it, but if you're a good rider, you'll ride anything well.
Bogle doing well. Now his best on this 450 so far in his 4 previous motos was the 10th. Right now working on 4th. Hey, Barsha has shrugged off Roczen. It looked almost inevitable that Roczen was going to get him. He was all over him and caught him 2 or 3 laps. Now Barsha is alone in 5th. Roczen, see him back there in 6th, but the gap is about 3 seconds. Georgia has more on Barsha.
You take a closer look at Justin Barsha, it looks like his pant buckle has actually come undone because his pants are sliding down while he's riding, which I'm sure is not that comfortable and could, you know, potentially risk him, you know, having some uncomfortable positions.
Well, that's a good point, because if your pants do start falling down too low, I'm sure some of you at home can relate. You know, if your pants fall down and you're trying to walk, you know what I mean, you can't really move your legs, so they're trapped. So look, you can see he's got his either that or he got a new underwear sponsor this week.
Trying to show it off.
I'm pretty sure it's just something happened with the pant buckle, and we've seen this happen to many a rider. Doesn't matter what gear you have. What's actually surprising is I noticed I had that happen many times more in Supercross, because sometimes when you seat bounce so hard, you put so much pressure and weight and you slide that you actually literally pop the pants apart. And yeah, so for Justin, this is not what he wanted to have to deal with, but he hasn't really lost any ground or slowed down much.
Not slowing down is this guy, the number 4, Blake Baggett, who was in that train just inside the top 10 at one point. Now he is 7th, and he has caught Roczen. This is the old El Chupacabra here. Second half of this moto, Baggett is on fire.
And the crazy thing is, they're battling for 6th and 7th, but this could be a battle for 2nd on any other given day.
Absolutely.
And it just shows you how much depth there is, and these guys are having to fight their way through. Still just under 7 minutes, then I'll have 2 more laps after that. So still some time for these guys to make something happen.
It is amazing that time around. Baggett, again, like we saw Wilson earlier, barely got that triple. You're on a factory 450 with a big run, and they still can barely do that uphill Red Bull triple. That says a lot about how big that jump is.
Well, because of the elevation, you're actually, when I say you're jumping up, it's a triple step up, so it's like almost jumping up your staircase in a sense. So you really got to get of everything, because with the landing being so much higher, it actually robs distance from you. You know, other way around, if you're going down the hill, you get more, you know, distance.
This is a good race, as Roczen has caught back up to Barsha, and Baggett is right behind them. So which direction will it go? And by the way, Roczen needs to not only beat Barsha, but get somebody between them. He might have Baggett to help with that. Gonna feel like a long way to go for them. 6 minutes and 2 laps in this moto. Dave Despain is back with new interviews for an all-new season, and this is a big one for motocross fans. All-new episode with Mitch Payton, the owner of Pro Circuit, tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on MAV TV. A lot of motocross guys getting in there. Yourself, Mitch, at some point Jeremy McGrath getting in the mix
had
on
a lot
that.
of people in there. I've got to say one thing about Dave Despain. He asked fantastic questions, and it's an enjoyable interview. He asks questions that most people don't ask, so I would definitely watch it. He knows his motorsport racing.
Oh, maybe better than anyone.
Yeah.
We just saw Porcel and Anderson go by second and third. They're on those white Rockstar Husqvarnas. Then there's this battle. Justin Barcia.
Ken Roxon.
And Blake Baggett was there with them a moment ago.
I think he's still there, just a few bike lengths back.
This is really one of those yo-yo type races, and what we mean by that is a guy will pull ahead, then it closes back up, pull ahead, close back up. Of these three guys, Barcia, Roxon, and Baggett, each one of them has had moments where you say he's the fastest guy.
I was about to say, at one point, they've all looked like the faster of the three, and then the minute you think, oh, yeah, here comes Baggett, then you're like, oh, wait, Roxon just woke up, he's coming, and then Barcia's like, over my dead body, and I'm out of here.
Barcia, we had mentioned earlier, the pants seem to be coming down a little bit in the back, and you can see why. You get out of these corners hard, and it's a lot of acceleration, squatting down on the seat. Got Roxon behind him, a little kick for Barcia entering those rollers.
Yeah, you can see they're starting to get their little, they're not rollers anymore, they got little steps in them, so they start kicking. And you can see how hard that landing is. Even when the guys hit the downside, you can actually see all the marks with the dirt being a little spongy from the moisture. You can actually see the tire prints denting the ground.
Wow. There's Baggett. He has closed up a little bit on Roxon now. It's a lap rider they're getting around. So it's the Auto Trader Toyota Yamaha Barcia, second in points. The guy close to him, third in points. Soaring Eagle Jimmy John Suzuki RCH machine. That's Roxon on the one. And then the Yoshimura Suzuki Baggett back there in fourth. It's actually the order in the series standings. Baggett is fourth in the standings at the moment.
And less than a lap ago, you said, oh, Baggett was in this battle, and I'm like, oh, he's right there. And all of a sudden, he's right there.
And right there, making the pass on Roxon to the outside.
Oh, Roxon knew it.
Across,
He knew it. He heard him there, and he took the line away. What's going to happen here? The lines come together again.
Two big attempts by Baggett on the four. Sorry, I said he was in fourth. He's actually in sixth on the number 4 and fourth in points, trying to get Roxon. So two Suzuki riders fighting it out, and this is going to allow Barcia to open up a little bit of a gap. Baggett's still going for it. We've had a lot of battles all over the racetrack today at this Bud Light Ironman National, and the battles are all coming together. They've caught Justin Bogle for fourth, and Roxon has caught Justin Barcia for fifth, trying to make the move. Blake Baggett right behind them. Who's going to come out on top? It's a drag race through the rough stuff into this corner.
Roxon's got the inside, but can he hold it on? How's the drive going to be coming out? Barcia went to the outside, but he couldn't triple it, so it opens a door for Baggett. Barcia had to triple coming out of that corner. That's why he went wide, but when he didn't, it just actually slowed him down. And Baggett goes right through, but has he got the
outside
deal sealed?
Barcia going to try to come back. Barcia in the bright colored gear. That's the only way you can really tell them apart. On the outside is Barcia. Inside is Baggett. Baggett shuts them off.
That's what I'm saying. Look at them. This lap is going, oh, what do I do? I'm in the middle of the track now. I'm getting split both sides.
This is unbelievable racing. Barcia and Baggett have closed back up to Roxon, who's got Bogle right in front of him.
No, this is fun. This is great racing. And can you believe it? 2 laps to go.
What?
I know.
The quickest moto ever.
Flowing by, and right with 2 laps to go, all of a sudden it's 4 riders battling for, well, we all know, valuable points. Barcia had to pull a tear off there. I wonder if he's out. Looked like he gave it a double grab.
And Barcia has 5 points on Roxon for second in the series coming into this event. Back here, 5th to 7th, that would be 2 points made up by Roxon. But if Roxon gets Bogle, he'll make up 2 more points.
Well, with the speed that he's caught him, I think there's going to be just enough time. Either that or Bogle is going to have to ride a really wide bike, because Roxon definitely has a little bit extra pace right now.
And they pulled away from Barcia now, so something has obviously happened to the 51. The pants are coming down, and the goggles you anticipate could be something also.
Roxon didn't jump that triple step up, so now Baggett right back with him. I wonder if, well, you know Bogle can hear guys behind him, so he knows there's some pressure coming. You might not know exactly who it is, but because the mechanics probably don't know which name to put on the pit board because they keep switching positions.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a hint. It's a Suzuki, but which one will it be? Is it going to be Roczen or Baggett? I mean, they are all over each other. Roczen attacking on the outside. Baggett follows him through.
Nice. What a move. Look at that. Lapper's trying to get out of the way as this battle rages on. Roczen gets it done.
So that's going to move Roczen to 4th. Bogle back to 5th. Baggett around the outside trying to take 5th away. Barsha's behind them in 7th. And incidentally, up front, Dungey is leading, but Anderson has got his teammate Porcel. Anderson down to 2nd, Porcel 3rd.
And I'm not a mathematician, but if the race ended right now, I believe Roczen and Barsha would be tied going into the last moto.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, and Porcel is the next rider in line. He's not too far ahead. On the right side of your screen, the white 377, Rockstar Husky. Here comes Roczen and Bogle and Baggett, and Barsha not too far back either.
1 lap to go. White flag is out. Has Porcel got enough in the tank to hold off Ken Roczen? Barsha probably a little frustrated seeing these valuable points just up the road from him that he can't quite get.
Yeah, and it's really a battle for pride. I don't believe there's bonus money on the line for 3rd for either Roczen or Barsha. At this level, that kind of talent, they put all the money for the bonuses on the titles. But they still like to beat each other. Yeah, and they
get paid well, so it's more pay, less bonus incentives, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the salary is pretty hefty.
Whereas usually in the 250s, it's a little other way around. You're dealing with young kids, so they try and basically motivate them by dangling that carrot. Hey, if you're on the podium, you make big bucks. But your base salary might not be that high.
Yeah, when you're dealing with talent like Roczen and Barsha, someone's going to give him a big salary.
Yes.
So you can't really dangle bonuses out there and say earn it. They're going to get it from somebody.
Plus, you know what you're dealing with. These guys have been around long enough. You know when you invest in a ride like that, you know what you're getting. He's going to give it everything he's got.
Yeah, they both got some wins this year. Porcel on the white machine going up on the top of this Red Bull triple. Husqvarna people will be pumped to put 2 bikes on the podium. Roczen going to try to break that up. Bogle hanging strong at 5th. Best performance by far for Bogle on the 450. 10th was his best moto. 5th right now.
The only problem for Porcel is this is where Ken Roczen's been strong. These back and forth turns, you know. Right, go over, jump, make a left, sweep. Yeah, look, Roczen's got good lines. Porcel takes the line away. He knows, but watch, this is where Roczen made the pass last time. Round the outside. Oh, and get her done.
Yeah, I don't know if Porcel purposely chopped down even further to the inside
but
or
he's
not.
got a better drive.
Here we go. It did work out in Porcel's favor. He's going to beat him to the inside of this corner. No, Roczen edges him off around the outside.
Oh, man, can you believe that last lap? Porcel's going to be gutted on that one. He had a comfortable gap, but speaking of comfortable gaps.
Oh, geez. Well, the battle is all over the track except for the lead. Ryan Dungey continues his domination. Wins the first moto here at Indiana.
What an impressive ride.
Oh, Porcel not done yet. Trying to take 3rd, back away from Roczen. Roczen, by the way, should take over 2nd in points when this one is over. A little bit of insurance, though, if he can hold Porcel back.
And there's
Anderson's not too far away. Are you kidding? Wow. Great racing. Anderson is going to get 2nd. Roczen 3rd. Porcel 4th. And not too far back to Baggett. Or, sorry, Bogle, then Baggett. And the pants might have been the story, unfortunately, for Barsha, who had these guys behind him and ends up at the back of that group in 7th. What a ride. Bogle top 5. He's got to be happy with that. Happiest of all, this guy, back where he expects to be, up front. Back here at the Bud Light Ironman National in Crawfordsville, Indiana, we've just completed our first 450 moto, and we'll show you the race recap. One of the better 450 races we've had this year. Ryan Dungey gets the whole shot. Christophe Porcel takes the lead away as Dungey nearly crashes. Canadian Colton Facial to get up there for a moment. Dungey clears him, and he went at it with Porcel.
Yeah, great pass. Yeah, just leave that braking as late as possible. Better angle in the corner. Just gets in that rut, but enough to take the lead. And after that, Dungey just started stretching it away.
And everyone else fought for it. This goes all the way down to the last lap. Porcel back to 3rd behind his teammate Anderson. Ken Roczen able to steal the final podium position away from him. And you had Blake Baggett, Justin Bogle, Justin Barsha, all right there as well.
Yeah, fantastic racing. Maybe not for the lead, but all the way through the top 10. And what an end to the moto for our defending champion, Ken Roczen. But nothing more can be said about this guy. The diesel, Ryan Dungey, clockwork, just another moto victory.
This is pretty impressive what he's working on right now, just making sure, again, no one goes in to the offseason with confidence. His fans are happy. Let's send it to Georgia.
Ryan Dungey, it doesn't seem to matter if you win a championship. The next weekend you come out flying. You got the whole shot. You led the entire race pretty much after the first lap. However, you know, this track, it got kind of like sketchy towards the end. Lap times dropped about 6 seconds, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. This track is really tough. You know, it's soft base, and the bumps are developing quick. And it got rougher and rougher as we were going out there in that moto. And the first lap, trying to get around Porcel, I believe it was, and fighting for that #1 spot, but was able to get in front, ride a good, smooth, consistent race. And the guys, Team Red Bull KTM, everybody doing an awesome job. And it's good to be here. Definitely, you know, these races are still important, regardless of the championship. You know, so want to put in 2 solid motos, but it all starts with a good start. So get ready for the second one too.
Congratulations, our 450 champion and race 1 winner. Well done.
That's a 6 moto win streak for Dungey. Won the second moto while Schugel won 4 in a row, then wins here again. Anderson wins that big fight for second, as we mentioned, Roxon outdueling Porcel. And behind that fight was Kennard, Wilson, and Grant to round out the top 10. So a good run for the Rockstar Husqvarna rider, and he is with Georgia.
Jason Anderson, what a strong ride for you. Ryan just said the track conditions were pretty tough out there. Consistent, strong ride from you. What do you think kind of changed over the last few weeks?
You know, I feel like I've been pretty fast the last few weeks. I just really haven't gotten the starts that I wanted to. But we got a good start that time and just kind of did my laps and got up to second. And, you know, just really stoked to put my Rockstar Energy Racing Husqvarna bike up front. And, you know, I feel like I've been riding so good. It's just I have been in the back doing it. So I'm really excited to get up here on the podium and do it. And, you know, all the sponsors behind me, Hilton, Thor, Dragon, Arrow, Stance Socks, Alpine Star, just the whole crew behind me. Thank you.
Congratulations, well done. Jason Anderson, second place in that moto. And we've actually lost our third place of Ken Roxon on the RCH team. He went back to the pits. I presume he didn't realize he was quite on the podium. But on that night, guys, we are going to break and we're going to see you for the next 250 moto.